Hello, everyone. This is Ursula with Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. I want to know how everyone is doing today. Today is Friday the 13th in the year of 2020. And you know what? It is a great day today. It's beautiful and blessed. So I want you all to know that because that's how I'm feeling today. Actually, I'm feeling extremely abundant today. So today we have a bonus episode. We're coming to the end of season 1. This has been a fulfilling season. It's been a lot, but a lot in a great way. But today is a bonus episode with this lovely woman I'm going to bring aboard in a minute. But first, let's take care of some business. If you hear my voice, please share this live stream right now. I'm giving you 2 seconds. Share it right now or start a watch party. Whatever you do, just share it. It really helps podcasters. I had to become a podcaster to understand the true meaning of sharing. Please don't let me call you out on Facebook because you know I'll do it. However, yeah, I am going to do it now that I'm thinking about it. So y'all don't test me. So yes, please share, like, please comment on this video, especially when you see who I have coming on board. Also, definitely visit my podcast channel, Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together, and it's on all streaming platforms. The numbers help, so please do that as well. Also, that's it. All right, so let me bring aboard my beautiful guest today. And we have the wonderful Linda G up in this piece.
Ursula. Hi, everyone.
Linda!
Ursula.
I get so giddy and excited. So let's just get right into this. This is going to be a quick bonus episode, but I just want to let everybody know my motivation for doing this bonus episode. Sometimes it isn't about the numbers. Don't get me wrong, the numbers on a podcast are great. But sometimes or not sometimes, more importantly, you have to lead with a message. So, hey, Rochelle. Rochelle said, hey, Miss Linda.
Hi, Rochelle. Love you. Miss you guys so much.
So my motivation is, for first, let me tell you how Linda and I met. A lot of our mutual friends, we all go to the gym together. So Linda and I are both former spin instructors at a big box gym. So Linda would teach her class before my class. And when I first met her, I was like, who is this regal sister? How dare somebody teaches before me? Who is this? However, she is the most phenomenal woman, one of the most I've ever met. We had some great conversations. And little did you all know, after Linda would teach, I would teach immediately. And then I will call Linda right after class. And it would be about 8 p.m., right, Linda?
Correct, right.
And we would call it our Monday night happy hour. And we're drinking our water, but
Right.
protein shakes. It didn't matter. But we would stay on the phone for literally hours.
Yes.
It'd be 10:30 at night. And then we would hang up and do the same thing all over again on a Friday. And so she's too young to be my mother, but I've adopted her as my mentor, my everything mentor.
So
And
much.
I hold her in such high regard. And she's a gift to me. And I want to share my gift to you all because she keeps my ass in check. Believe that. Little do you all know, yeah, she doesn't hold back. So I want to share that with everyone. But Linda, I love you, and I'm so glad that you said yes to come on for this midday delight.
Thank you so much. As I said, you have to be um, very careful, in settings like this because people are listening, and what you say have impact on people's lives. So I was very nervous about it. I prayed about it all week. I stayed in my Quran reading to make sure that my focus was where it should be.
I love that. And that's why I'm very particular. This podcast is my baby. So I'm very particular who I invite, and I trust anyone that I do invite on the knowledge that they can share with everyone. So, which is why I definitely didn't hesitate on asking you.
Thank you.
So, uh, where do I start? So, this conversation started, or excuse me, the topic of this conversation today is based on the last conversation Linda and I had. I don't even know how we can talk about it, can go from the gym to politics to personal development to where we're going to exercise. I love
Right.
it. So, Linda had mentioned being the change you want to see. That is the topic today. And if you all have any questions or want to shout out to Linda, please, 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 please don't even slide into DMs. Just go right in the comment section right now. So, Linda, can you briefly tell everybody where you're from and how you started to become a spin instructor? And then we'll take it from there.
Sure, sure. I was born in South Carolina, a little small town called Cope, South Carolina, right outside of Orangeburg, South Carolina. But my mom moved to South Georgia in the 60s. So I grew up in a little town called uh,
Yeah.
Brunswick. Brunswick. It's a small town, coastal town. Um, it's where I was raised by way of Worcester, Massachusetts, by way of New
Wait,
York City, Worcester. I was transferred up there to open up the residential living for the Job Corps program. Um,
Linda, hold on. I did not know that. Do you know I was born near Worcester, Massachusetts?
I was there, I believe, in the 80s, late 80s, no, early 90s, late 80s. I was there at a
Are you
job center.
kidding me?
Yeah, I was there.
30 minutes from Worcester. I swear to God, I did not know that.
I never knew anything about three family houses until I was in Worcester, Massachusetts. Yeah.
So we've just been in alignment since the 80s and didn't know it.
We've been in alignment all of that time, all of this time. Yeah, so I was there. I was
Oh
in
my
Houston,
God.
Texas. I was in St. Petersburg, Florida. I was there because I worked for a job call center, and it was a huge company, so I kind of travel around as one of the ones that would open up the residential living for the resident that would be coming in. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
How did you become a spin instructor?
Believe it or not, Kelly Ripa. Kelly Ripa, yeah, I was listening at her go on about the spin class in New York and how you can burn 500 calories in a class. And I wanted to get my weight down at that time. And when the gym opened, I was there. You know,
Mm,
I was on the front row because in school I was always on the front row. So I had no idea what the front row meant. It meant setting the pace for everybody else behind you. So the next day, I could not go to work. I had to stay in bed all day because I was so tired. But that's how I became a spinning instructor. And then, of course, I had mentors like Kevin Thornton and
yeah.
who else was in there? Phyllis the Diva.
Yeah.
Who else was in there? Marvin. Uh,
Yeah.
Marvin, and of course, then I came over to Stone Mountain as a new instructor and worked just before you. and you were so popular. So I took a little bit from everyone, from the spin environment, took positions from everyone, and that's who I am. If I can grab a hold to something that's beneficial for my life, I'll get a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'll tuck it all and put it all together, and then work it to my specification.
So I love that. Let me fix this a little bit. So with that being said, yeah, I've heard that we were called the dynamic duo of Monday nights with this.
It was good. I mean, we worked in uniform, and it was really good for the members because if they couldn't catch me, they could catch you, or vice versa. And Monday was just a perfect day for spin on Monday at Stone Mountain because you had two really good instructors back to back. So that was good for the members, and we really did have some good riders. With all of those bikes in there, they would be full sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. Just to let everyone know, look at this sister's face. She is 65 years old. Let me tell you how her classes would be. She's 65. She can run a 5K in a sub 30
Yeah.
and play nothing but trap music.
Yeah.
So Linda, oh, go ahead, sis.
I
What were
was
you gonna?
gonna say, music is the epitome of the soul of African American. It's what makes our soul move back and forth and sway back and forth. And so, if you got a good beat and good music, you're gonna have a good turnout. I think so.
Look, you're exact. Oh, Rochelle said, and it wasn't a class with Miss Linda without Future.
There was
I love Rochelle.
oh, she remembers. Listen, there was no playlist without Future.
I
None
love it.
had to be in there. Yeah.
Let's just dive right into this. So, everyone, we're going to talk about how to be the change you want to be. So, with that being said, we'll just briefly talk about the external factors, and then we're going to take a deep dive into the internal or the intrinsic factors on how to be the change that you want to see. So, Linda, I'll let you lead it. So, externally, go for it.
Well, externally, I just think that as a woman, we have to move on stages in life. And moving on stages in life mean that we have to present ourselves in a manner that represent exactly what we want within ourselves. And if we want that within ourselves, we gotta want that inside of other friends and associates and just people in general. So when I go out, I have to be great. I always say I have to be great at all times. I want to present myself in a manner that is in alignment with who I am as an individual. And I can't sincerely go out and make my intentions without knowing what those intentions are.
And you look so fly with it, also.
Thank you. Thank you.
And she also has a Khadijah's closet. We're working on that launch, but I'll inform everybody when that time comes.
Thank you.
So let's really do the deep dive of the internal factors on how to be the change you want to see. When I think about that, I think of three things. I think of be, do, and have. So if you want to be, just say, I don't know, adventurous, well, that's the attitude, is what you're thinking. But then what are you going to do about it? That's the action. And then the have is, okay, I'm climbing Mount Fuji. So it's the sequence of what are you going to do. So what is the attitude about being a change that you want to see?
I always think about the farmer when I think about a change. When the farmer goes out, he plants a seed. And in order for that seed to grow, the farmer, he has to pray for rain, he has to weed it, he has to fertilize it, he has to till the soil. And if the farmer does that, on a routine basis, 9 times out of 10, he's going to yield a good crop. It's the same thing with your soul. You have to work on your soul in terms of you have to give it good food. You have to situate it in an environment that's conducive for what it is that you're looking for in life. And I think if you do those things, you're deep diving into those areas where you're going to just yield. And you don't have to make that announcement. It will speak for itself. It will reveal itself. It will reveal itself in terms of your conversation. It will reveal itself in terms of judgment, not passing judgment, making claims, or just moving in areas that's not good for you as an individual or anyone that you're dealing with in life. I,
Mm.
I think that we have to be like the farmer, or we can be like a mother who's carrying a baby in life. If she eats well and drinks and nourish that baby inside that womb, that baby will come out 9 times out of 10 just a healthy child. There it goes again with your soul.
So, if someone wants to start to change their soul in a positive direction, what are a few things that they can do as far as their thought process?
Um, First of all, they have to be sincere in that intention, because your intentions are exactly what you intend. You may come in later on and say, "Well, I apologize," but you got to keep in mind your intentions. Is exactly what you intended. So it starts with sincerity. You have to be sincere about what it is that you want in life. If you want to be a decent human being, then you have to be decent in terms of your ways, in terms of kindness, and in terms of caring, and just keeping other people in mind, just like you would keep or you want them to keep you in mind. If I haven't seen Ursula in a week or so, let me just check on Ursula. Maybe it's nothing, but sometimes just a small reach out like that mean a lot to a person that may be dealing with some hurdles at this point in life, or whatever the cause may be, you know.
Right. I like that,
Yeah.
especially with the intention part. When every morning, I'll say at least 8 times, if it's like 10 days in a row, at least 8 out of 10, I always set my intention for the day. And and so I wake up about 4:45, 5 a.m. Before I walk into work, I always set my intention on the type of person that I want to be and how I'm going to be before I even contact anybody, come in contact with anyone. You know, it's like a soul check
Right, right,
before.
right,
Yeah. What do
right.
you do for your soul checks?
Um, First of all, I'm up early because as Muslim, we make early prayer. In fact, we pray 5 times a day. And those prayers are not because we're looking for all of the gifts from God. Those prayers are to keep us on a straight path so we don't act outside of our character or say something to someone that not so nice, or have a certain look on your face that's not so nice. So that's how I get started for the day, with my intentions to make my prayers. And then a lot of times, if I feel like I'm moving into a direction that's not good for me, I consciously keep this thought in my head all day long to always be kind. Just be
How do
kind.
you keep that consciousness in your brain?
You have to keep it out front. You can't throw it back, or you can't get so caught up in your day, whereas you forget about those things that's good for you. This is why we pray so many times a day, because they keep us in alignment with how we should be as human beings. When you get to the height of your day, you have so many vices coming at your way. Sometimes we move away from the remembrance of those things that we really need to focus on. And
Mm-hmm.
so, if you consciously just keep that in your mind, consciously keep those things in your mind, you'll have a very accomplished day. That's how I accomplish my day every single day, you
I
know.
love that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
everyone, if you didn't know, Khadijah, Linda, I call her Gail. That's what I really call her. But Khadijah, as you all know now, she is Muslim. But everybody can keep their intentions in different kinds of ways. She is praying 5 times a day. I am not Muslim. However, I do the same thing she's doing. I keep it conscious in my head.
yeah,
And what I do a moving meditation. So even if I'm driving in the car, I always try to keep it in the front of my head, whatever that intention that I set for the day.
right.
So my point being to everyone is you can do it in different ways. It's just do what works for you because
Absolutely.
the outcome is the the fruits of your labor. Yeah. Hey, and Gray gave a huge black love heart. I love Erica.
Right. Yeah.
She's beautiful. So any other ways, other ways to check your soul internally right here?
Um, for me, it's just being a conscious-minded Muslim. I mean, that's what's important for me. My Quran is like my prescribed medicine. If I follow that Quran as it's prescribed, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be a decent human being, a good human being. It's just like your medicine that you take. And I like to use similitudes because it always make my point clear, And as Muslim, you have to be clear about what it is that your intentions are. And I
Yeah.
think that once you do that, you don't have to worry about people wondering about this or that. You're very clear in your ways. So for me, it's just being a Muslim. It's the only thing I need to keep me in alignment with what it is I've decided for my life. That's just
Yes.
yeah.
I love that. And you taught me that. Oh, ooh, I'll never forget that conversation. I was sitting in my car and you said, Ursula, you need to do, I won't tell everybody what the conversation was. You better do that so that you let people know you make your intentions clear. And then you'll never be put in this kind of situation again,
Yeah.
crying on the phone. Yes, Linda. But you know what? I never forgot that.
Good.
Point again, you don't have to be Muslim to take the message that's given. You just take what works for you.
Absolutely.
So, how would you describe on how to act? So we already have the subconscious but how we navigate physically through life being the change you want to see.
You don't have to jump into every fight. It's not a physical fight. It's just it could be a verbal fight. You know, don't jump on to every fight. Every fight is not for you. A lot of times, and I can use the example of sometime I see posts on Facebook, and it's a huge discussion. It's not where I want to jump on at. I don't want to jump on to one of those kind of live discussion because they go all over the place. If it's in a setting, where I see that everybody is has a mutual concern. Everybody is concerned about what it is they're concerned about, and we're all just adding a little something to that person's concern. You jump on. It's a good reason to jump on because you're in a setting where someone is really pouring out their soul. Someone is looking for something. Someone needs something, you know.
Mhm.
If it's one of those posts where people are just coming from all, you got people in there that, I've seen it go way left somewhere. And that's not where you want to be. No,
Right.
you don't want to be over there. One of the great attorneys of Atlanta, he died some long time ago, but he did say that if you see a good fight, jump in. Not a physical fight.
Oh man. No. Damn. No.
Not a physical fight. You just you want to assert yourself in the best environment. I mean, that's with everything that you do, and it's fun there too. Don't think because it's one of those environment where everybody's up and down and there's no gray area that there's no fun there. There's some fun over there too. The world has always been good. You just have to find your spot in it.
Hmm. Rochelle comment. Oh, it is so nice. She said both of you ladies are gifted with beautiful spirits. To know you is also to know and accept that your words and intent are meant with love.
Thank you.
Whew, that left me speechless.
Yeah, me too.
Wow. Give me a moment.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Tanya and Tiffany. Tiffany said she loves it, and Tanya said both of you ladies look great.
Thank you.
That's my crew right there.
That is your crew. I love
Yeah.
your crew. I love your crew is what I love. I love the relationship that you ladies have with each other.
Yeah.
It's a good environment to be in. It's a good relationship.
I'm glad you said that. Just everybody who's listening, because I know a lot of people have taken both of our spin classes. So Linda taught at two locations at the big box gym where we taught. And when people navigate, at least I'm going to talk about my class at the location I was in. And Linda would always say, and unknowingly to everyone who's taken my class, she said she always loved the spirit at that particular location because of the togetherness that we all had. And no one, I never told anyone because it was really nothing to tell. But my point being is how you want to be the change you want to see. If you give out love, you give respect, you get respect. It's a continuous positive cycle.
Yeah.
And oh, and Rochelle said you ladies really make an impact.
Oh wow. Thank you. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you, everyone.
And Tiffany said we love you, Linda Gamble.
I love you guys too.
Yeah. So, I always admired that when you said that about the location that I taught at because nobody knew how you felt about that, but for you to see the togetherness and the unity that we had, that really meant a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I guess I see it such a positive thing because of my upbringing. I came up during a time where Angela Davis and all those good people, and I came up through a time when it was not so good. It was not a real good relationship, and to see it again, and to see it and just feel it, not just see it, but my spirit was able to generate to it. I just said this is a beautiful, beautiful group of women over here.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, everybody in those two classes, just beautiful, beautiful women. And you all, please hold on to that good relationship that you all have. It's so important.
Hmm.
It's very important.
Hello, Chris. Chris said, "What a delight! Two wonderful queens."
Thank you, Chris. Is that Chris from the class?
He never took my class, but he's followed you a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hi, Chris. Thank you.
yeah. Chris is he's a handsome one. I'll
Oh,
send you a picture.
okay.
He's hot. He's hot. And Sharon says she's misses and loves us both.
Who's that?
Sharon
Hey,
Miller.
Sharon. We miss you too. We got to get together. We have to do it before it get too cold. We have to pack up picnic stuff, get in the park somewhere, and just love each other.
Hmm. So I have a question for you because most of my audience, my listeners, are women. How can a woman be the change she wants to see if she's looking for a relationship or with a romantic relationship or a relationship with sister friends?
In that case, I would say always act from your intelligence and not from your emotions.
What is
Women always act from your intelligence and not from your emotions. Women are automatically emotional creatures. We innately was inherited. We were created with that, and that's just who we are. And I think a lot of times when women go out, they go out with their feelings, I always say, on their sleeves. And you can have them on your sleeves, but just don't feel that you're being ran over if you don't agree with something, or something is not going in that area you think it should go in, because after all, we're all different. We're all
mm,
different. We can have this conversation right here with 100 different people, and each one of us may have a different of opinion. It's because how we see it. Doesn't mean that it's not um, conducive for that individual because we have a different of opinion. We just have to go out with the intentions and not the emotional. And I think we have to listen to each individual who have an opinion. It's not all about my opinion. Again, I prayed about this moment right here because I know that you got listeners out there that's listening. And we're not trying to say that this point is the only point. We're just saying it's my point. That's all it is.
people look up to your point too, which is why I asked you to come on. So when you say women go out with their emotions on their sleeve, what does that look like?
That people are fragile. Women are fragile, and that fragileness come from many things and many walks in life. And I always hear again with the similitude say, women has walked over some gravel, and they fell in some pit holes, they climbed themselves out, and all of that leaves them fragile, in some sort of respect. But I think if we pick ourselves up and realize that, hey, you know what? I'm stronger than this. I can do this, and it's not all about me. But a lot of times, if you take those emotions and you just keep thinking about what it is somebody has to say it to you, you begin to create more feelings behind it. You keep creating more feelings behind it. But I think if you sincerely say, you know what, I'm gonna sit that over there and I'm gonna leave that over there and I'm gonna keep moving on, because that right there is not gonna make me or break me. It's not gonna set the tone for the rest of my life. That's not the tone I want. So I'm gonna leave that over there and I'm gonna keep going.
Right. So Linda says fragile, which is great. I call it trauma. I mean, it can be. So navigating with that trauma in you without healing, as you said, and you're trying to be a change you want to see, you're going to attract trauma as well. What do you
Sit
think about that?
sit it over there. I mean, I don't think there's. I can't think of anybody that I know that has not gone through some things. I think it's up to us as an individual if we want to make a change for them things, use those things as a tool to correct some other things, or we just want to hold on to them. If you want to hold on to them, you're gonna have some hard times coming down. But if you set your sights on those things that you see as important, and you keep that position. And even though you have a little sideline eye over here about something that happened, I've experienced that before, you can take that experience and use it as a tool. You don't have to use it as a tool in the manner that you're going to just keep letting it drag you down. Because because namely, it's us that keep us in certain spots in life.
Oh
You
my God.
yeah,
Yeah.
we keep ourselves in spots in life because we have a tension to hold on to things that we should have let go long time ago. Long,
Ouch.
yeah. It doesn't have any weight except for we just keep holding on to it for whatever reason. Oh, she said that. Oh, he said that, and you just keep holding on to it. It's over. Just
Yeah.
set it over there. Certain things in my life I set up on a high shelf, and they stays up there. It's a good lesson. It's not. I don't put it up there because it's breaking me down. I put it up there because I've crossed this path before, and if I experience this again, I can reach up there and see what it is I did with it.
Right.
I can see
You,
what it is I did with it.
so when you're talking about holding on to things, what came to my mind, of course, would be relationships, whether if it's romantic relationships or career. You know, you and I have had that conversation about my career. I don't know if you remember that a couple years ago.
I do.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. And I wanted to change, but I didn't. And I stayed on the hamster wheel. And I stayed on an emotional hamster wheel.
Spinning,
It got me nowhere
spinning.
fast.
Yeah,
And that's not good
it's not.
because while myself or other people are on hamster wheels, that external factor is already making plans and you have no idea what the hell is going on until it's too late.
Too late.
Whew. Yeah, that's bringing me back to our conversation. But it had to happen and it's for the best because look where we both are today, like right now, right here.
We're in good spots.
Yeah,
We're in good
we
spots.
are. We
Yeah.
are. I became the change I wanted to be. It was definitely, it was a journey, but it was well worth it. But I'll admit I wanted the change to happen without me putting the work in. That doesn't work.
Doesn't work. It
Was
doesn't work.
that me being lazy? What was that?
No, no, not necessarily being lazy. And sometimes, we get an idea and we can work the idea out within our heads, but sometimes we can't put it into motion. And we pause for a minute and we pause for a minute, and then all of a sudden one day we say, you know what? It's the same thing with weight. We keep going around with the same weight and we looking at other people and they're working hard, and they're eating right, and we don't want to put down the chips, and then all of a sudden one day you say, you know what? I'm doing this. And you get up and do it. It's just that simple. It's no planning, you know. If I had planned to get the home that I'm in, I wouldn't be in it today, I don't think. Because when my husband and I decided, you know what, we're gonna do this. So during the 4th of July, we were fasting. We was not celebrating. So we had put some things into motion that we saw was important to gainfully get where we were trying to go. And that's what we did. It's all go back to sincerity and intentions. That's all it
Mm,
is. A lot of people look for the big boom out of the sky.
yeah.
It's the same thing when I was looking for wisdom and understanding. And I'm Muslim. But one day I was thumbing through the Bible, and in Job 28:28, they said to know God is to depart from evil, is to know God, and to have understanding is away from the devil. It's just that simple. It's just simple stuff that Job 28:28.
Break that down for me.
Job 28:28 says that, and I was looking for wisdom and understanding in life is what I was looking for. And I
Right.
was reading the Bible one day because as Muslim, we read all of the God's book. We put them all together and they parallel. So I'm reading the Genesis, and Job 28:28 says to know God is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. And it's just that simple.
Gail, break down the last part for me. I haven't
To
been to church in a minute. Help me out.
Job 28:28. I was looking in my life, I was looking for wisdom and understanding. That's what I
Wow.
was looking for. And it was just as simple. To know God is wisdom. To
Mm-hmm.
depart from evil is understanding. Now
Okay.
you can read that and you can decipher it and you can process it the way you know. But when I process it for what I was looking for, it was very clear. I had it all along. To know God is wisdom. To depart from evil is understanding. You got to understanding about what is right and what is wrong. You got to understanding about doing good and doing bad. You got to understanding about what is sincere and what is your intention. And all that is wisdom.
Gail, you are dropping some gems, sis.
All that is just wisdom. So this just common stuff, common stuff that we read and we do and we get nuggets from. Because like I said, I can get some wisdom from a child. If a child says something that catches my attention, and I say, that's pretty good. I mentor some sex offenders on probation for the Justice Department. And one of my candidates in that class said to me one day, he simply said, the world have always been good. You just need to find your spot in it. And with that, I've tucked that under my skin and I used it today. In fact, I mentioned it when we first came on. Uh,
So, what if somebody wants, if they don't know the guidance or have it, how would someone know how to find their spot
when you
in this
become
world?
when you become situated in your soul, when your soul is at ease, when it's nothing
Ooh.
else. When your soul is at ease, when your soul is at peace, you know, people. You have to work on the core of yourself. You have to work on your soul, because until you do that, what you're doing is just temporary.
Ooh, that's some good stuff.
It's just temporary.
Ooh, how would someone work on their soul if they do not have the wisdom like you do?
Um, I just think you have to start somewhere. I don't know who are believers in God or what it is they do that bring comfort in their life, if it's through reading, if it's through running, if it's through meditation, if whatever those things are that makes your soul be at peace, those are the things that you should concentrate on, you know.
Yes. You know what? And I didn't realize this until quarantine that some of those things are already right there in front of us and we do not know. A lot of people know and even right now, I still spend a lot of time on my balcony with my garden and I'm sitting on my lounger and there's this area when I look up in the sky in between the trees and it's literally, I used to always say in my head that was a highway to heaven. Yeah. And I would sit so still and I wouldn't even realize it that 2 and 3 hours would go by and I wouldn't pick up my phone. It was literally just silent. And the only noise I heard was nature. And that's when it clicked in my head that I have to be still. This just works for me. Everyone is different. But for me to stay still, and that's how I would get most of my ideas. And I really believe that that's how God was talking to me and it would literally be crystal clear.
Absolutely.
I can hear it and I could see it, but it's like I literally zoned out, but my eyes, my ears, and my soul was open.
Yes.
So I advise everyone if you want to be the change you want to see, you figure out what your balcony moment is, you figure out what your running moment is, you know, how Gail runs a lot. You see her on Snap Finger. Everybody has their own way, but we have to be still. I believe prayer is when you ask God for guidance. In the meditation, whatever the meditation is for that person, is how God answers your prayers.
Absolutely. And one would have to be steady in their life, in their movement. You have to have balance and symmetry. You know, if you got a scale and this scale is like this, something is getting more attention than something else. The scale is not balanced. And I do believe that when you put balance and have balance in your life, whatever that balance is for you, not necessarily my balance or your balance or whatever that balance is for a person that's looking for sincerity and looking for that peace and looking to be on a level in life that's more situated for their souls, you got to have the balance. You got to dig deep and you got to find those peaceful moments and those things that work well inside your soul. And your soul going to let you know when it's not right. It's not going to feel subtle. It's not going to feel level. It's going to feel jittery. And you might just wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't even know why you woke up. But you, once you find that peace, and God, you'll know it. God will give it to you. Once
Wait, Gail, let me tell you this. Wait, hold on. Let me turn this fan off real quick. Hold
you,
on.
all right,
Okay, I'm back.
okay, great.
I was cold. I was shivering. So let me tell you, Gail. So one night I went to bed early. I don't think I ever told anyone this. So I went to bed early one night and I was sleeping hard. And then I heard someone, it was a supervisor where I work at the stadium. It was his voice. It was so bizarre. And he said, Ursula. I opened one eye. Ursula. Opened the other eye. And then I heard a man's voice for some reason. And I'm scary. You know that. But for some reason, I was not scared. And I was fully awake and I sat up like the bride of Frankenstein in my bed. And I heard this man's voice distinctly. And he said, Ursula, be patient. And there was another word, be patient. Oh, and show gratitude. I don't know. I didn't know what it meant. And I remember I said, okay. And then I just went right back to sleep like nothing. And it felt like a dream, but I was fully awake. Because I remember looking around to make sure no one was around before. If I had a gun, I'd grab the gun. But my point being is I had already been calming my mind down before that happened. And I really do believe that that was God talking to me. And it took me literally about a year to figure out, yeah, what
Wow.
he meant with that. Because it always lingered in the back of my head. I
Well,
don't know. It was just, I don't want to say weird. It was just bizarre. But
right.
I embraced it. I embraced it. Oh, and also the main word that I heard too was being obedient.
Be obedient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two things behind that. The patient part. Here again is another similitude. You know how we have to be patient. You know, God tells us as Muslim that the fruit of your labor is right in sight. You just have to be patient. But when we talk about patient, most human beings we like immediacy. We don't like to have patience and wait for our compensation. We want it immediately. But to give you a good example of how we should look at why we should be patient is this similitude. Let's look at the baby. The baby starts from a seed immediately, and that seed, you know, comes into some sort of a blood or gel or have you, and from that gel it becomes gristle, and from that gristle it becomes bone, and then it gets covered with skin, but all that's gradual, and the baby stays in the womb 9 months, you know, and it's in 9 months it's coming out willingly or unwillingly. and then it gradually learns how to crawl and make noise, and it gradually grows up and be human beings like you and I. And all that's gradual. That's the design I think that human beings should really look at when they start thinking about immediacy or not having enough patience. Just look at the design of the human being and it show you that God did not make life immediate. And that means that you should have patience because life is gradual. You should build
Mm.
on those similitudes when you're thinking about your own life and say, if I be patient in this, gradually I will get where I need to go, and gradually I'll get those things that I need to go gonna get. But all of that's gonna come with patience. It's not going to come with immediacy because immediacy is not the design of a human being. And I don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. I've just explained it in layman terms how you can see gradual in human life and its existence.
Wow. Woo. Just to let you all know, this is just a little peek into how our conversations, our Monday night happy hours.
Yeah, we would go from one conversation to the other. We would start with something funny, and we'll have good laughs, and I'll say some really good jokes about some things, and then we'll get very sincere about a conversation, and it normally ends up with Ursula saying, "Gail, I gotta go now. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna leave off of that note right there. We'll pick this up next week." Yeah,
Like, Gail, I'm not fooling with you today, Gail.
and
Not
you
happening.
too.
Oh, I love it. Well, we're going to start wrapping it up. I just really wanted people just to take a peek into how our conversations go. And I encourage everyone, if you have a Gail in your life, listen to what they say. And doesn't mean that they have to be older, doesn't mean they have to be younger. But if they make your soul vibrate,
Yes,
that's your Gail.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
for sure. But I love you, Gail.
I love you. I love all of you guys. I love you so much. We have to do this real soon with the picnic thing with all of the two gym friends together. We have to do that. And of course, you and I will probably talk before this weekend is out.
That's what we want right there. Yeah. You have any parting words? I'm gonna let the queen have the last word.
um, the earth will continue to turn and it will repeat this course over and over again. And each time you'll be here. So while you're here, you make this time the best because all you got is this time around.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this time around.
It's the emotional footprint that we leave on this earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You make it the best time around that you have because this time is all you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
Oh, it's always some good stuff. That's our word, right? Some good stuff.
I'm gonna make a t-shirt that says that this is my mood right now.
Wow.
But
Oh, wow. Right, right. I wore my out of the week T-shirt because I wanted people to know I'm just a little small person from a small upbringing in a humble town, and I'm just a humble little girl from the country.
your presence is so large.
Thank you.
I love you.
Love you.
Oh, wait, we'll let Rochelle have the last word. Rochelle and her beautiful hair. She said, "This was awesome, ladies. I have pages full of notes with gems that were dropped here today. Thank you."
Oh, oh.
I have nothing else to say after that.
Either.
Love you, Rochelle.
Love
Love
you.
everybody who
Love
came
you.
on this live. Love you, Gail.
Love you. Thank you, everyone.